What's up, Internet Land? Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with another Transformers third-party review. And the figure we're going to be reviewing today is the Magic Square Light of Justice. Now, a few times on this, on my reviews, I've looked at these little Magic Square and New Age figures and been like, you know what, this is a legend scale masterpiece figure. In this case, it is literally true. This is by and large, the same figure with the same engineering as their masterpiece scale, the Light of Justice or Light of Freedom, whichever their larger figure was called. This is basically the same figure. All of the same proportions and a lot of the same engineering. And it is quite remarkable that they were able to shrink it down and scale it into something this small. It's a really impressive piece of engineering. I like it. But this figure is basically your one-stop shop for your legend scale Optimus. It comes with a good spread of accessories, as we'll get into, and just the aesthetics are just really, really wonderful. So, I know, full disclosure, I reviewed the masterpiece scale Light of Justice, or Light of Freedom, I think it was called, the bigger one. The smaller one's Light of Justice, the bigger one's Light of Freedom, I believe. I don't know. Anyhow, and while admittedly I didn't like it as much as I liked the Transform element, I did like it quite a bit. I feel that by and large, the Transform element, Optimus Prime, was third party's answer to MP44. Admittedly, Transform element came out with it shortly before MP44 came out. Whereas I feel that the Magic Square version is their answer to MP10. I feel that the Magic Square figure shares a lot of design intentions and elements with MP10. Whereas I think Transform element has a lot more in common with MP44 for a number of reasons. But anyhow, let's get into its accessories. By the way, first and foremost, I'm going to do a size comparison. This is the DX9 Dutch. This is the figure that I've been using as my scale, my legend scale, basically standard. And you'll see that these figures are roughly similar size. This one's ever so slightly larger. Aesthetics-wise, just look at that, though. I mean, Dutch does some fairly swanky things. I kind of like how the chest turns around to change up this anime-style chest with the toy-style truck mode. But just by and large, I feel like this Magic Square one just wins in the engineering department. And here he is with the New Age Agamemnon. Let me slide that over a little bit. Again, these figures look really good. Now, I know that Magic Square is making a Megatron, and I'll be honest with you, it does look very good, especially from the back. I'm not crapping on this back at all. It's impressive for what it does, but you know, this is what these guys look together. So anyhow, let's get into accessories. First and foremost, he does come with his trailer, which is something that I don't think that the masterpiece scale one should have come with the trailer, but it would have been nice if they had like a separate trailer option. He also comes with another pile of accessories inside there. Well, first of all, let me talk about this trailer a little bit. Trailer has got nice surface details on it, good clean paint all the way across. No real obvious place to put an Autobot symbol. Rivet details all the way across it. Back opens up. Of course, it opens like this. You've got these parts that swing out, and then you can extend the little feet. plant that down, open this up. You can pull these out, get yourself a little ramp. Have guys go in there, get worked on or whatnot. You've got this thing comes up. This has 3 points of articulation, a little ball joint down here where it can wiggle around, rotate. You got a swivel here and another ball joint up here. No opening cockpit or anything on there. You've got this little thingamajig is on a ball joint, and this is on a ball joint back here, plus a single hinge here. So you can do it like this, or you can do what is all the rage these days and put it up like this as a backdrop slash gantry. He comes with a roller. Roller is very nicely detailed, 6 spinning tires, a little bit hollow on the bottom, but that's not really a problem. This is how you're going to be looking at it. He comes with the little plug details to plug it into the spring-loaded launch. There is no spring-loaded launch. He does have a couple holes on here. You can plug that in there, plug that in there. It is a very tight fit, by the way. But it does fit. His ion blaster will fit in his hand just nicely. Again, this is kind of a tight fit. Maybe someday I will loosen up that peg just a smidge. But it sits in his hand. It is really good looking. Maybe a little thin, but I don't know. It's not bad. I like it. You can detach his hand with just a simple peg and plug in this Energon axe so that you can recreate that one scene from that one episode. And he can go swish swish, with that axe, which is molded in transparent orange. Very nice looking, actually. Plug that back in. He comes with a few extra hands. He comes with a pair of these partially open hands. And I'm not sure exactly what these are supposed to do because, you know how I said that was a tight fit on the other hands? It's an even tighter fit on these ones. In fact, I'm not sure it fits at all. And I'm not sure I want to try that. Yeah, you can see that there's a little bit of flash on the inside there. And that seems to prevent it pretty well. Ooh, the flash even looks worse on this one. Well, he comes with a pair of pointing hands, which are great. By the way, while I'm on this subject, I think I might have mentioned this before, but I think I'm gonna make a point to mention this more and more. I'm all for posable hands for Masterpiece style figures, but I would really, really love to see large figures come with alternate hands. He also comes with a hand that looks like this, and a white hand that is the exact same mold. And I was a little confused by that at first until I realized what these are for. These are handshake hands. So you put one here in his hand, the blue one, of course, because he's got blue hands, and then you take your Magic Square Ultra Magnus, pull his hand out, and put that there, and they can shake hands. They can be like, hey, what's up? What's up? How's it going? Shake hands. Which, I mean, I guess it's a cool accessory that never happened in a G1 continuity. That was totally robots in disguise. The old one, not the new one. I'm a big fan of the old one. Not a big fan of the new one, but yeah. He comes with a pair of alternate smokestacks. These have got a longer... These are a longer stack than this other one. Other than that, they're basically the same. These smokestacks, they don't fit in here super, super securely. Like, they'll fit in, but not like like you still got to worry about, bonking them out. You can kind of wedge them in at a slight angle and then like shove it. But it's real hit and miss. And I don't know. I kind of wish that they were a bit more secure. I put some super glue on these pegs here to get them to fit in there better, to like kind of widen that up. And only partially successful. Maybe I should put another coat. I don't know. I've certainly got more than enough super glue on hand. He does come with a matrix, a little teeny tiny matrix, a little tiny baby matrix. This has got a tab on the bottom. By the way, he can't really hold this in any kind of realistic way. You can kind of like wedge it into one of these like grippy hands. And that's how it looks like. But like that peg doesn't fit inside the hand hole. Anyhow, this peg does fit inside this little slot right here in this part in his chest. And so you can go like this, and that'll fit in his chest. You do have to take that out for transformation, which I'll get to in a little bit. And then last but certainly not least, he comes with this little strange peg here, which I was looking at it, scratching my head, wondering what exactly is that for, and then I realized, oh hey, that's for this Magic Square huffer. Spread that out, plug that in. When you have his trailer in the trailer mode, fold this up. You've got a little peg right here, and that'll just shoop onto there. And now Huffer can pull the trailer like he did in that one scene in that one episode of that one show. So, that's cool. Anyhow, let's get into posability for this guy. His head is on a ball joint, but it's really just a swivel. So his head swivels quite nicely. No side to side really at all. It will look up and down ever so slightly. That's mostly because of the transformation. His panel is on a hinge. His arms go all the way around. You can pull them out like so to expose this, the MP10 style extension there. About that much extension. Not a whole lot, but I mean it's there. Double joint at the elbow for a very respectable bend. He does have a swivel here. The swivel works just great, though it's apparently not meant to go all the way around, because you can see that makes this piece protrude a little bit there on the back end of that, which makes his smokestacks pop off. Not a problem, because, I mean, do you really need his arm to go that far? It doesn't do that for transformation. It certainly isn't really going to be much of a posing option. Of course, because his wrist is on a peg, it will swivel just nicely. Waist is on a spinny joint right there. You can also use the transformation joint to give him hella ab crunch, both forwards and back. Though, of course, you are breaking the sculpt there massively. You can maybe get a little bit of expression out of it without breaking that joint too bad, breaking that sculpt too bad. His, I don't know if you guys remember, but when the Masterpiece Scale one was first announced, it had a single skirt armor like this, where it was all on one hinge. And people were like, oh, that's dumb. So they split it up. The production version has 3 armors. This one retains the 1. So that will move up that far. If you lift the joint here again, you got to lift that a little bit to make it go up more. But it doesn't really give you much more range, because this part of the hip collides with the joints on the inside. And so his leg goes that far forward and it goes that far back. Not a huge amount backwards, certainly. I think forward works out okay. It's going to work really well for most standing poses and whatnot. leg will go out for the full Van Dam, which is not bad. Swivel here, double joint at the knee for a respectable bend. Toe has got some movability because there are two little joints here that make that for transformation, but it's not. It's towability. It's not bad. His ankle joint does bend quite a bit, but because it bends on the inside of this ankle armor, anything past about right here, you're gonna start having this piece of the armor hit the floor. And so, but I mean, keep in mind that's this much spread. So, I mean, any more spread than this, and it's going to start looking weird. Let me see if I can get this to stay on. Nope. There it goes again. This is honestly one of the only things that I don't particularly care for on this figure, is that the smokestacks fall off quite a bit. Again, some super glue will thicken that up, and probably by the time I put another coat on it, maybe another two, it'll work just fine with no problems whatsoever. But that is something to be aware of. So it'll come off in handling, it won't come off just being on display. Let's get this guy transformed up. So you do need to remove the matrix for transformation. That is not going to work. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw out his arms like this. We're going to extend this, rotate that around. That's going to be a key thing to do. Move these all the way out to the sides. Rotate these around. If you've watched my review on the Magic Square Light of Freedom, you're gonna recognize an awful lot. A lot of this transformation is exactly the same, and the parts that aren't have just been simplified, but a lot of the engineering ideas are still there. So this is on a ball joint, little like slidey thing that goes in and out, and it's on a little hinge. If you yank on this too much, that will pop right off, but it's just a little like a ball joint, and so you haven't broken anything. It'll fit right back on, easy peasy, no problems. So move these up so that they're lined up in position. And there we go. You can close this up. And there's the front of his truck mode looking just dandy. You want to take his head, rotate 360, open up both of these parts here. You're going to rotate this all the way around so that his head sticks right in like that, and then this will close up over it. This will slot right back into the same spot. You want to take these and kind of fold them back. This arm is going to unfold from here, unfold from here. You're going to fold that hand back in, and then you're going to collapse this up as you slot it in, and then just shove that all home, and it'll clean that up quite well. Let me show you that one more time. You're going to open this up, fold the hand in, open this panel here, and then you're just going to collapse this all up. Plug that in. Like so. Now when you put that head in, it's going to make this panel stick out. That panel has got a tab on it. That tab's going to fit into this slot right in here. So put that down, plug that in, and that sits quite comfortably like so. Now you have half truck, half man. You want to come around to his legs, open up this panel right here. You're going to kind of slide this out. And then this is going to swing around unfold this, unfold this. And then this leg, you're going to fold in the heel and the toe like this. And then this leg is going to Combiner Wars in. This tab right here is going to fit into this slot right on the wheel well. Just like so. And then this is going to fold around, close up, and this is going to close over that. You're going to leave this just like this. Don't plug anything in yet. So we're going to show that again. Open up this panel here. Bring this out. I'm going to bring this out just a bit so that you can get this out. You'll see that this is on a slider. There it is out. There it is in. Going to make sure this slides out. Bring it around like that. Fold out. Fold out. Combiner Wars this leg down. Flip this panel all the way around. Oh wait, I didn't do the foot yet. Let's do that foot real quick. Heel, toe, Combiner Wars. This tab goes into that slot. Rotate this, collapse that, fold this. There we go. You want to peg these feet together. Put this panel in so it lines up just like a puzzle piece. There and there. And there he is in his truck mode. That is a great looking truck mode. Especially, let's be honest, when you compare it to the DX9 one, which is kind of gappy and discordant looking and kind of looks a lot, kind of reminds me in many ways of the hybrid style Optimus Prime alt mode. So this on the other hand is very smooth looking actually, not very high on kibble. Of course he does have really obvious legs. That's kind of a standard feature for Optimus Prime. Again, that's actually my biggest complaint with the alt mode itself. This gap here is new for this Legend size one. On the Masterpiece one there is stuff to cover that, but I'm not really worried about that. He does have this little divot in between his legs here. Let's see if you can see that little divot right there. This peg will go right into that divot. It's not the most secure of connections, but you know what? It is more than secure enough. So he rolls that quite well. This is smokestacks. Despite this figure's flaws, and I'm going to say it's not a perfect figure. I say that an awful lot. If I ever find a perfect figure, I'll be shocked. It's not a perfect figure, but despite its flaws, it is a very good figure. Especially in this scale, especially. I am quite impressed by it. Is that paint chipping? That is tragic. Got some paint chipping on my figure. That's a little bit of a bummer. Maybe that's something that y'all should be aware of. But anyhow, this is a good figure. I like it. I'm glad that it's part of my collection. And I don't know that I'm necessarily gonna get rid of this one, but this guy will definitely be taking the place of that this one previously occupied. So look forward to that. Anyhow, thanks everybody for watching. You guys are fantastic. Everybody stay awesome and be good to each other. See ya. Have a good one.